Hey, Raindrops. Alexis, Jansen, and I are back for another recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 15, Episode 11.
Woo!
We
Wow.
are 11 episodes in. Can you believe that?
Nah, it's gone fast now. It was kind of slow, and I was like, what episode is this? Now it's like, wow, I can't believe we're over halfway. Almost. I mean, it's sad to say we're coming to the last stretch.
I know. It's so funny because I feel like we just started. It's so weird.
When we first started, Carlos, you know it didn't feel like that, though. You know it
Listen, this
was.
I'll say it. You don't have to say it, Alexis. This is no OC, bitch, because honey, OC, it was boom. OC is like the Mike Tyson. This
Yeah.
one, Beverly Hills is more like Jake Paul or
Oh my
Logan
gosh, I
Paul.
never would have thought of those analogies. Okay, I'll leave the analogies to you, Carlos. You're good at
Does that
that.
make any sense to you though, Alexis, when I say these
Yes,
things? Okay, all
yes,
right.
it does. But my mind never would have gone there. I would have
Yeah,
said like Orange County, like what has pop? Like Orange County is neon pink, and Beverly Hills is like a purple. Which hey, their front cover was a purple, but we're like hot pink because it's a pop, you know.
yes.
Um,
Yes,
so
yes, yes, yes. Listen, I will say this. What is happening this season, and I thought about it, Alexis, after watching this episode, which I had moments of scenes that I enjoyed, and we'll get into that as I talk about it. But what I realized about this season is listen, I'm not going to say it's a bad season. I don't think that's the right word to give this show. I think I would consider this to be 11 episodes in a transition season. And when I say that, what I mean is it's obvious that something's missing. And I think this season is all about figuring out who stays, who goes. And there were a lot of good moments in this episode, but it is it's not the Beverly Hills. I'll speak for myself. It's not the Beverly Hills I'm used to or signed up for.
okay, well, I have a take on that, and I haven't watched a lot of them. You know, I think I watched,
Yeah.
like I told you, a couple at the beginning, but I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. And I think what it's missing is the fact that all these women have so much heaviness going on in their lives. Usually there's only one character at a time that's going through such massive, turmoil in their life. But there's like this episode, you got choked up how many times? I mean, with everything between Erika
Hmm.
and Dorit's part, and then it's always heavy, and then Rachel Zoe opened up. So it's like I think it's missing the element of just a little bit more stability where the women are in a different place in their lives. I think we have one season where it's like almost all of them, and Kyle's even going through divorce, like we've talked about before.
Hmm.
All the women are going through something kind of heavy, and it's just so it's missing the fact that it's the arguments are kind of hard to deal with because of the fact that there's so much other heaviness going on in everyone's lives.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for sure, for sure. And it is painstakingly obvious, but listen, let's just get right into the episode. At least it started off with something fun to me. So
Mhm.
Rachel, Kyle, and Dorit, they're still in the Hamptons, having a girls' trip. They go shopping, okay? And
Cool.
Dorit is a woman on a mission, okay? I like to call it Mission Impossible because I don't think it's possible that the mission can be accomplished based on where her debit card is at. But she's pulling out clothes, and in her confessional, she's like, I'm really smart with my money.
Cool. Responsible, she said.
Yeah, responsible. I'm really responsible. Thank you, Alexis. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how responsible it is in one store that isn't like Louis Vuitton. You're spending over $4,000 and then the card doesn't go through.
Yeah, but okay, I knew you were going to bring this up. Do you believe, see, I think she's probably right. She was on the phone with her bank, and I've had security stuff done on my credit cards like that before when I
Same.
was in Florida or whatever. It's like, so I believe her. And I was in my mind, I'm going, oh my gosh, she's already known for this, or this is what the stick is about her. And here she is, and she's got her bank being super careful right now, telling her you can't spend, and are you really in the Hamptons? And she can't get the security code or what. I mean, it's just like it was one of those perfect storms where it's I was like, she's in for it. Like she's gonna get so abused.
No, it was. I felt bad for her. And listen, raindrops. I told you guys I love Dorit. I don't dislike her. Although Alexis is like, you have a funny way of showing it.
Yeah, it's true. Because
What
I
I
do
will,
agree.
yes, yes, and listen, that's fair. What I will say is, I will defend Dorit this time. I've been like you, Alexis, as she's applauding. That's why you guys got to watch this on YouTube as well. I have been in situations where I have been in stores where it's not in the city in which I reside, or where, the bank and my home address is not on, a part of that particular merchant. So, long story short, I have been in a situation where it has declined. And I'm like, Alexis, right? Now I
You're
know.
so embarrassed. First of all, if it's your credit card, you know what your max limit is, and you know you ain't close to it if you're good with your money. And then if it's your debit account, you know how much you got in your bank account. So you're like, and mine's tied to my savings. So it's like there's no way I can have a bad, anything. So I'm like, I am so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so then I call the bank, but they have high security on me because I have had fraud in the past. So they put like, they just are careful now because they don't want their clients to have fraud on their credit
Yeah.
cards and such. So I just felt so bad for her. And I was like, man, I wish I could jump through and be like, I've been there. I know what you're talking about, like.
Same here. And that's why for me, I felt the exact same way you felt. I'm like, look, we already think you're broke like a joke, and not me, because I know you get paid lovely from the show, but the audience doesn't think you have the money. So for that to happen to all people, it was unfortunate. But I will say, her defense, it has happened to all of us when you're buying shit that amount
In a
out of
different
state.
state. In a different state. And the bad part is like if it happened to any of the other castmates, there would be no upheaval about it. But because it was Dorit, now all the women, are thank God she didn't go over and say, my card got declined, because they have to wait and watch it now and see. But it's like it's not gonna help her image on which sucks about what the audience does think already about her being broke. That's the part that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Alexis, now I'm not a woman.
By the way, I loved all her outfits she picked though, Carlos. I was like,
I
damn,
was
I will take that and I will take that. And I'm gonna be like, I wanted to DM her and be like, can I just purchase everything you just bought off your like rack when you've worn it once? Because we only wear things like once or twice. I'm like, just I'll buy all of it.
See, that's why I love you. I was literally, you took the words out of my mouth. I
Oh,
was about to ask you, I'm not a woman, so I don't know anything about women's clothing. But I was like, is this shit worth $4,000? But apparently, Alexis, it is.
yeah, because here's the deal, and I was going to go back to that too, because just because it's not Louis Vuitton, at Louis Vuitton you get one item or one wallet for 4,000, okay? Or any of our high-end places we like to shop. However, when you're in the Hamptons, because I've only been once, but I do know that I went to a boutique and then I went to a children's boutique. My kids were like 5 when we went, 5, 5, and 6 or something like that. I did damage like that in all the kids stores and the store I shopped in because they have things you can't get here and you don't know what designers they are or what they are. I didn't know how to get them.
Mm,
So I just one of her outfits might be $500, Carlos. Take that divided by 4,000 divided by 5 outfits, or maybe and then she
mhm.
got a hat and then she got some other things. I mean, if you really and one of them was a dress, one of them was 2 pieces, so probably more than that. It's really not that much. If she got, let me hold on a second. Let me do my math real quick because I can't think that fast. Let's just do $4,000. Well, it was 4,500 because then she bought that
Okay.
dress after. Okay, let's just divide it by. Let's say the average outfit was, let's just say 650. Okay,
I
that's
love
the
this.
ensemble or the hat or there's accessories also. She only got 6.9, so 7 items in the store. And
Hmm.
trust you me, the items in the Hamptons stores are not 25.99. Okay. It's like 2,599. Okay. So I don't feel like Dorit overspent. I mean, I get where Kyle's saying it's because she's in a not good place to spend that money right now. But at the same time, it's six outfits or seven outfits, six outfits and three accessories. So I don't know. I was right with Dorit. I was like, dang, if I tried that on, I would not be able to say no. I would have to go into some credit card debt for some of those outfits.
And it's her money. Listen, I will say this. She's a reality star. She's been on the show for more than 10 seasons, I want to say. So she's making money and it's her money. And that's why, look, I'm on Dorit's side when it comes to that. She deserves it. Like she was saying in the confessional, she's pretty much a single mom and she has to fend for herself. And if she wants to treat herself to something, so be it.
And by the way, how do we know when the last time she went to a store was? Do you know there's times I barely go into boutiques because I don't have time, but it's like when I go into a boutique, there might be one time where you find absolutely nothing. And you're
Mhm.
like, you could go into five that day and it's just not your shopping day. I always say the shopping gods are not on my favor today. Nothing looks good on you. They don't have the right
Yeah.
size. They don't have the right whatever. And then you'll go into a boutique like that one day. One day when you've been trying to find clothes for weeks and weeks or months and months. And then you find all the outfits ever. And it's like, okay, well, if I would have divided that $4,500 on the seven times I've been out shopping and found nothing, I mean, that's all my mind was thinking when I was watching the whole scene. And the whole time I'm feeling so bad for her because I'm like, she's had it rough already. Let's just let her spend some money.
Yeah. 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 So Derek, see, I'm on your side.
Carlos loves you. He does.
I
He's
do.
brutal, but he loves
I
you.
do. I do. I do. Derek, I love you. And your fans can leave me alone. I have your back. Now we'll see what happens next week.
Ah!
So speaking of somebody who they also think I'm harsh on, we got to get into the scene between Sutton and Jennifer Tilly.
Oh God, that was just, I just love Jennifer and her outfit. Can we talk about her cat purse? Did you see the cat handbag that she's
Yes.
sitting on the table and then there's just Twinkies just joining him for the lunch?
I love her.
We
I
all
think
need a
she's
little
so
bit of her in
great.
our life.
You know what's so funny? Watching her scenes, I feel like she is so green, which is a compliment
Right.
because she's so honest about everything. Whereas I know if Sutton is watching the scene and watching Jennifer's confessionals, that Sutton is not going to think what she's saying is funny. Because what we learned in this scene, which to me, it took us to have Jennifer Tilly sort of paint the picture for us, Alexis, right?
Yep.
So they're talking about her ex-husband. As we all know, Sutton is Catholic. So is her husband. He had their marriage annulled in the Catholic Church, is not recognized anymore. And by default, she has to go back to Brown, right? So
Can I hold your thought on that? First of all,
please go
what
right
makes
ahead.
me upset about that is I don't give a darn what the church says. She is legally Sutton Strack. If she doesn't want to change her name, the church can't override what the legal document is that she has from, the marriage certificate and all that. I mean, or just even what's on her, like that's her legal name right now. Am I wrong, or can the church not go and say, okay, we can wipe you from the church as Sutton Strack, but
Mhm.
sorry, my license still says it. It's on every mortgage I've had and everything, I don't know. It makes me mad because I'm like, for me, I feel like that's just something that shouldn't be possible. I'm sorry to all the Catholic faith and all of that because I'm Christian and I don't know all those rules and such. But I just think that you should not be able to just take somebody's last name when they have all the legal documentation for that last name. So I think Sutton should keep it and just be like, I don't care if I'm not Sutton Strack in the church, I'm still Sutton Strack, Brown Strack, hyphenate it. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact of how she's recognized in social circles. I don't believe for a second it has anything to do with, oh, am I still your mother? Like, what are you, Sutton, shut up. That is so stupid. Like, stop. Like
Well,
this, you are
I'm
this
gonna
grown woman's mother. No, no, no. Your child is now 5 years old in grade
I'm in the
school.
same situation though, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate because First of all, it does bother my children slightly, not a ton, and now they're kind of over. But at the beginning, it did. They were like, "Well, are you going to take John's last name? Like, you're not going to have our last name anymore?" Like, and my kids are 18, and 19. They're adults. But so it does do something to like, but then John's like, "But my mom doesn't have my last name and it's fine." I'm like, "Yeah." And I told my kids, my mom got remarried and doesn't have my last name, and then I got married. By the way, Kenna's going to get remarried, my daughter, and then she's not going to have Bolino anymore.
Yeah.
But at the very beginning, when you're making a transition, I totally got why Sutton had that conversation with her daughter. And, I just, my kids are totally fine and like, whatever, mom, do whatever. But, I think they would deep down appreciate it if I would hyphenate it. I do. I but
Mm,
but they are being
okay.
mature and adult about it and just like, no, take his last name. That's your husband. So, I mean, these are conversations obviously I've been married 4 months now. So this was, 8 months, 10 months ago that we had that conversation. But anyway, so that's devil's advocate for why Sutton is feeling that way. It's when it's new, it kind of
We're
does.
gonna call it Catholic advocate. Go ahead.
Another good one. You're on it. You're on fire today.
I'm
Uh,
on.
you're on. You're on. You had your coffee. Um, so anyway, that's just okay. Now move on. I'm sorry to interrupt your thought, but I didn't want
No,
to.
I love that. But that's the reason why I love doing these recaps with you because, listen, obviously you don't live in Beverly Hills, but your life, there's parallels with some of these women's stories, and that's why I love your commentary with this because you show me a different view. I would
Yeah.
not have never guessed that your children even would question that.
And guess what? They hadn't until it came to the time. Like when we were engaged for a year, I was with John for 3 years, and I was engaged before to another person, and they never brought it up, thinking, are you going to take his last name or anything? It was when we actually we were wedding planning, and then it's like they're like, oh, it's around the corner, and the closer it got, that's when the conversation came up. But it did. And I didn't think I would ever hear that question come out of their mouth because I'd been engaged before and it never came up. And then I'd been with John for two years or something and it never came up. And then right before the wedding, it comes up. And I'm like, I had to actually take a beat and think, what do I really want to do? What does Alexis want to do? I knew what John wanted. I knew my kids were kind of, teetering about it. I'm like, well,
Hmm.
what does Alexis want to do? And so
Yeah.
I chose, and there you go. So anyway, I felt for Sutton in that moment. And I think now she'll probably look back on it, and once it's done, she's probably like, it's no big deal now. But it's like I said, it's the beginning of it, starting the process, which is kind of like, oh, okay.
But this is what I got from it. Okay, when Jennifer Tilly, okay, revealed that, look, when she first met Sutton, Sutton was married to her now ex-husband, right?
Christian,
Uh, I believe his name is Charlie or something.
Christian,
Christian. I'm
Christian.
sorry, Christian. Jennifer says when she first met Sutton, she was married to Christian, and they had this image that everything seemed to be okay.
Uh,
And that's how they presented themselves to be, which to me is very on brand for the Sutton Strack that I've been watching all these seasons of her presence on the show. Jennifer then reveals, I think Sutton isn't really being honest about how mad she is about the situation because Christian started dating one of her best friends. And Alexis, I said,
holy heck.
hold the fuck up.
Do you realize when we get to the end of this podcast today, I'm gonna recap with you on all the new information that was brought on this one episode. That is like where my mouth was, chin was on the floor.
Yes.
Like I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such new information. There's like three or four things of it.
No, which is why this episode wasn't bad for
Right.
that reason.
Right. Because we
Uh,
did get to really peel the curtain back and see more into their lives. Here's the comment I wanted to know what you thought about.
Go.
Sutton, or no, Jennifer Teely goes, the Sutton I knew 10 years ago was chic, cultured, board on the board of the what was it called? Theaters or something like on some board committee. And I'm like, so is Jennifer implying that Sutton is no longer chic or cultured? Like in my mind, I'm like, if you're saying she was and used to be the Sutton you used to know, I'm like, I don't think that. I think Sutton is still totally cultured and chic and classy. Like everybody can have a meltdown here and there, even the classiest woman. So I was like, okay, Jennifer, you're really going in now. You're going in for it.
and that's why I said to you earlier that Jennifer is honest, right? She's honest, Henrietta. She's telling us everything, and I know Sutton doesn't like it. I agree with you. I think Sutton will take that as a diss. I don't think Jennifer was dissing her. I think this. I think this. I think this. If Sutton was still married to Christian, she would never be a housewife. She would have never applied for this show.
Well, he probably wouldn't have wanted it, right? He seems more
Yeah.
passive. I don't think he would have wanted it.
Oh, not at all. Even if she, in my opinion, this is my opinion of who Sutton Brown is, honey. Sorry, Sutton. I'll call you Sprack later. Now, I think she was one of those women who stuck her nose up in the air,
Thank goodness you
right?
don't have any boogers right now. We're seeing all of them there.
Okay. Sutton, Sutton Strack was like this, honey. I think she was one of those women, Alexis, who turned her nose up at women who were reality stars,
You
right?
do? Why?
Because
Would
let
make it
me
because she was living in that image or putting on that image
thank
at the
you.
time. Okay.
It's all
I
about
can
the
see that.
image,
I
right?
can see that. Okay.
Okay. Again, at that time where she's married, honey, she's married to a man who is managing $200 billion of assets. So she's in these rooms, right? And when Jennifer met her, Jennifer Tilly, who made her money through her husband creating The Simpsons, go ahead, Jennifer. Um, they're in the rooms together. And I think Jennifer looked at her like, oh, well, she's a woman of, great means and all this other stuff. And I think saw Jennifer as like a funny friend, right? When the divorce happened, I think Sutton had to do something to show Christian that she did not need him anymore. And she became a reality star. And that's why her first season, she told Teddy Mellencamp, I thought you were going to be boring. And then, oh God, you're also pregnant. She was pretentious. And I think what Jennifer was saying is who Sutton was when I met her as Christian's wife. That's not the Sutton who's throwing back the bottles, right? Allegedly, who is, you know, telling Dorit, argue with somebody whose wallet matches yours. Like she's looking at her like that's not who she is. But I'm going to defend Sutton today
Right.
because if my best friend started dating my ex-husband, the father of my kids, and did it behind my back, I too would never be the same.
Oh, Carlos, I'm, by the way, I was going to say, let's give Sutton a break because when you go through a divorce in general, it's not it's the hardest thing you've ever done. Thank God our kids were older and you're not worrying about divvying up children time. But, so yeah, she probably lost it for a little bit and drank a little bit more than she did and wasn't as classy or chic as she was, when she had this perfect, life looking like it was a perfect life. But yeah, you could totally be right that she was just like, see, I can do my own thing. And she probably needed it. She probably needed something to do to get, to not be so thinking so much about, soaking in her wallows or worries or whatever.
Yeah, now listen, it's hard to be married to somebody for 16 years, have three children with this person, and the slore alleged that you were hanging out with is dating your husband. Because for me, it was sort of like, were you two flirting behind my
Right.
back?
Was there
You know,
always something you'd always wonder, was there always something there? Am I an idiot? All these family trips we would take together or what we would do together or when you would come over to my house and hang out, is my husband Googling you, Googling at you the whole time? Or God, I don't know. I'm having trouble with words today. I didn't have enough coffee. But anyway, like just always looking your direction. I mean, that is so hard, Carlos. Have you ever, oh, you said that in the gay community it doesn't matter if y'all flip around and everybody just dates
Not
everybody.
flip around, honey. Yes. Hang on. I
So I did
love
use, I
it.
used the right, the proper word for now. Okay.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
just thinking, like, where you're just like, everyone's sharing each other. But like,
Because it's a small
yes,
community.
I get
Yeah.
that. But in
Yeah.
the hetero world, it's like, I want to, I mean, I can't, I don't even know a friend right now that I can think of off the top of my head that I can go, oh yeah, this happened to someone I know. Cause that's just so,
Well,
that's,
people
oh,
thought you and Shannon were friends when the whole John thing happened.
I know, but oh my God, it did, hello. I mean,
I
it's,
know, but no.
didn't. And I never filmed a season with her either until season 18 when they brought me in as the villain. But so no, but I don't just because I live in the same town as her and she happened to be on a TV show that I never watched and I didn't know his name barely. It's like I can still date him. I don't look at that as being like it's your friend. It's like knowing someone that works at Neiman Marcus and dating their ex-husband is different than dating someone's friend that's in your circle, is what I'm trying to say.
Totally. Oh
Because
no, I agree.
yeah, because we're older now. So it's like at 45 and 50 and 60 years old, there's a lot of people that have dated other people by that age, when they're
Yeah.
single. So, okay. Anyway.
You want some more tea?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I love tea. I want some coffee too, though. Do you have any of
Well, baby, I'm about to fill your cup up, not with
that? Okay.
Folgers, but with spicy grounds, coffee grounds, honey.
Well,
So,
give it.
Sutton, okay, Sutton's as Christian. Can you believe this, Alexis? Christian filed for divorce on Sutton's birthday
No, he did not.
without telling her, and then came to her birthday party with the cake. It gets
So she
worse.
found out the next day that he had filed on her birthday? How did she
No,
find
I'm,
out?
I'm about to
Did
tell
it pop out of the cake? Like he had the cake open up and it's just like, here's your divorce papers. Sign them now, please.
Here's a gift. Free at last, okay?
Well, he should have had a naked guy pop out of the cake and hand her the divorce papers. That would have been a little bit better, okay?
No. So to answer your question, the day after, so remember, he filed for divorce on her birthday, which to me, Sutton, that man don't like you. And that's fucked up. Again, I'm on Sutton's
That's
side.
not
That's
kind.
fucked up. He doesn't like
16
you.
years with someone, that's just not kind.
It gets worse. So
Oh
he
my,
filed on her birthday, unbeknownst to her. The day after her birthday, he called her en route to Florida and told her she needed to get an attorney. He had moved out, so they were separated, but she didn't think that they'll be separated forever. And that's why she says she cries all of the time because although they were separated, to file on her birthday was a strong message to her. And then to tell her the day after her birthday, oh, get a lawyer. But then after you file, you show up to her birthday party with cake. That's a nasty man.
I
That's
was just going to
nasty.
say he doesn't, I don't know him and I hate to speak about someone I don't know, but he doesn't sound kind at all. And then he dates her best friend or her just even if it's not, I don't think it's probably her best friend, but a girl in the circle, like that's one of Sutton's friends.
Yeah.
I mean, how much worse can it get? And by the way, does this girl think that he's a stand-up guy if all this occurred? And I mean, is she, I mean, I would
Good
have those
point.
flags going off in my brain. I'd be like, this is a little red flag.
Good point. No,
Going to
good
change
point.
someone. Everyone thinks they're going to change the guy. You're never going to change him. Once a cheater, he's probably always a cheater. I mean, and I know he's not a cheater, but I'm just saying it's the same kind of thing. It's like he has this, we just named five things, and God forbid if he's actually a really good guy, and we're sitting here, talking about this right now.
I'm
But
sorry. It's all about character. The moment you file on your wife's birthday, dude, that's
well, and show up with a cake and then call her the next day. There's 365 days in the year. You don't have to pick the one day. You don't have to pick Christmas. You don't have to pick her birthday. You don't have to pick Valentine's Day. Pick
right.
any of the days of the year, the 45 holidays, stay away from them, you know?
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
gross. It's
Yeah. But to me, the reason why that scene was necessary to me is because we were able to gain some insight. The only thing I want Sutton to do, which look, she's not going to do it because she does want to give the woman any satisfaction.
right.
But it's a lot of whammies in that one situation
Yep.
that I would have loved for her to say, obviously that hurt me. I mean,
Yep.
granted, she said seasons ago that that's why she cries a lot. That's fucked up. But for the record, I do want the raindrops to know they were separated.
So,
But
so you said separated because you were reading all that information. You had did a good job of datelining. So when you said he'd moved out, so he had physically moved
yeah,
out, separated, but his
yeah.
stuff was not in the house any longer. He had moved
So
all
she said he moved out and they were separated, but she did not think the separation would last
right.
forever.
Well, I
And
mean,
again,
a lot of people hope that you can get back
yeah.
together. And again, what?
And again, that doesn't make him a bad guy.
Right.
His character flaw to me that makes him a bad guy to me is falling on her birthday. That's
Right.
fucked up.
No, 100%. And then to further with that, bring the cake, and then to further with that, the day after the birthday, tell her to get an attorney, and then further after that, to date a girlfriend that's one of her friends. I mean, that's just too many. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, there
Yeah.
was one wrong thing, Carlos. That's like five that do show kind of
Yeah.
character. So
Yeah.
Sutton. And it's kind of like I feel like Kyle thinks that like Mauricio and her are separated, and I feel like neither of them are actually filing. So I'm thinking one of them or both of them probably think that it's not going to be a forever thing. Sutton probably felt that.
No, I'm laughing. Listen, I'm gonna say this, and you could disagree like you do when you feel it. I laugh because I thought you was gonna say the obvious to me, which is um Kyle thinks the separation is temporarily, while bitch Mauricio is like, this is permanent.
Nope. You know why I don't think so? You know why I don't agree with you? And I knew you were going to probably think that. But
Ah!
you know why I don't agree with you? Is because Mauricio hasn't ran to the courthouse either. Now has he, Carlos? Huh? Huh?
Because he's actually a good person who has character,
What
and
is you
he's
think he's
not.
going to wait for her to go do it because she'll never do it?
No, I think, listen, I think this, and I'm sorry, ladies, I'm gonna tell you how men think. Mauricio has his cake and he's eating it too.
Right, because they don't just share the money. They're not splitting assets. He's doing everything. The kids are, it's like we're still married. But like at the same time, if he does find someone that he falls for, I
He's
mean,
not.
he's not. You think he's just gonna be
He,
a gigolo, a playboy the whole time?
yes, that man. I
You did
listen.
not even miss a beat with that.
Mauricio is the Leonardo DiCaprio of reality television. He will be a forever bachelor.
But Leonardo has girlfriends for like 15 years or like a long time. Like, doesn't he? Or does he, is he much?
No,
Oh, oh,
no.
they're like in and out 3 months,
Yes,
3 years.
yes. It's like a rotation. It's like,
Oh,
hey, your 3-year contract is up.
so he's got a 3-year maximum.
Yes, I think Mauricio, but to me, it makes sense. It's sort of like, look, here we are. I am not about to split my assets. That the money that he and Kyle have to split is so what's the word I'm looking for? It's so
So
massive.
mingled.
It's commingled and the amount is so massive that it's gonna take a while for it to be figured out. And I think Mauricio's character shows that he will never do anything. Godiva, stop. He will never do anything to embarrass Kyle. That's my opinion. I think he's a girl dad. And I think Mauricio will never do anything that will lose the respect that his daughters have of him.
Well, honey, touche on that. He already has. His daughters were humiliated that he was hooking up with people in the valet lot and such. I mean, come on. Sorry, he lost their. You saw his daughters. They were already
No,
lost.
they just said my dad's a hoe.
They were. They said that. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on now. They lost little respect for him. Did they lose love? Did they lose love for him? Heck no. But they lost the respect for him a little bit. They're like, okay, no, mom, he's gross. That's grossing me out, like kind of stuff.
Alexis, Alexis.
I just gotta call. I mean, we're on a recap. I mean, people, we got a recap. So that's why
No.
if you got it,
I'm here for it.
no one's ever going to want to listen to us. But then we get ridiculed because we're speaking too much of the truth, and it's like, well, we got to be truthful,
Oh
or no one
yeah,
wants to
and
tune in.
I don't give a shit. So no, as we this listen, as Alexis intimated earlier, this episode to us had three bombshell revelations. We talked about the first one, which is
Oh,
Sutton's ex-husband dating her former friend. We now have to get into the Erika Jane therapist meeting where she talked about how she's being sued for $25 million and that Tom left her with a $10 million tax bill. Before I get your thoughts, Alexis, I want to let the audience know why this $25 million lawsuit is even happening. So she is set to hit to federal trial regarding over 25 million in allegedly fraudulent transfers from her estranged husband Tom Girardi's law firm to her company EJ Global. The lawsuit claims these funds covered luxury items and personal expenses. Um, so that's the reason why she's embroiled in this lawsuit because once again, they're saying that the money he stole, he transferred to her company, and that money that he transferred to the company was used for her to live this lavish lifestyle.
I mean, I have a question for you, and I don't know if you'll know the answer, but like, I am so just. I had heard that rumor, but I hadn't like read it in the press or anything about that Erica was going to trial. And I think the reason they're filming that scene is because it's coming up, right? That's what's bothering Erica is like it's around the
Hmm.
corner that she's going to the trial. But I'm just so beside myself about it. So what happens, Carlos, or do you even know? This is probably an attorney question only, but what happens when she's left with basically $35 million and she doesn't have the money? What do they do? Like, are they taking her checks? Like, are they going to start taking her checks and she's going to have to live in poverty? Like, she has to be able to live.
So this is the thing. What I do know is because it's the money was transferred to her company and not to Erica Jane, the person.
Oh, she could bankrupt the company.
Thank you. That there you go.
Thank God.
She could file for bankruptcy, not have any personal liability.
Which is still no
To
great thing. I mean, it just gets her out of the hot water, but it's no great thing.
no, 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 no. And listen, depending on the judgment from the court, we don't know because you file for bankruptcy if you still have to pay it back. But the thing is, it's a lot of this is unfortunate because he's the one who did the activity. It's not like it's reverse, right? It's not like she stole the money, transferred to his account. Like,
And to go even further, it's not like she even knew it was happening. This was all
yeah,
behind her back. It's kind of like the Giudice's situation,
yeah,
Teresa's situation. It's like,
mm-hmm,
or Giudice, but
mm-hmm.
she had no clue, and then she still has to serve prison time. Erica had no clue, and she's got $35,000 of debt behind her name now.
It's
Horrible.
it's sad. And then for the $10 million tax bill,
Well, that's
uh,
basically, I'm adding that to the 25 million, so that's
oh, I know,
35,000. Yeah. So, but
35 million. Yeah.
to see her vulnerability and just finally break down. It's like, she does seem so stoic and so strong. And then you actually got to see that it's crushing her. She probably doesn't sleep much. It keeps you awake at night, you know?
One of the moments and we'll get to the part that continues what was revealed last week. But before we get to that, I thought Erica Jane was so real and honest in this scene when she was like, but when is it going to get better? And I think it's easy for people who aren't in it to say, no, it will. But look where you at now. You should be grateful for these things. And I do subscribe to that, right? I always try to find the things to be grateful for in the midst of a turmoil. I will also say it's easier said than done. I look at her and when you really take when you sit back and you look at who we were introduced to, it was this vivacious. pop singer that was flying private, uh, glam on retainer. She lived a fabulous life, and I think she lived it. I will go on record, and I have gone on record, and Erica Jane knows personally I feel this way because we talked about it. I will always go on record saying I don't believe she knew what was going on.
Oh,
I think I think like most women who marry wealthy men, she just thought like his business is good. Aaron Brockovich movie is about what he did. Like the money's rolling in. I married a successful guy, and then to know what he was doing behind the scenes, I don't think she knew. And I think it's hard for her to try to move on from that life. And I thought the stuff she was saying was so real. I, yeah. Mm.
I agree. And I think what the audience needs to kind of keep in mind with this and why they probably, I think even everybody that talks to her probably is like, oh, but she's fine, is because when you're filming, she can put on a smiley face, put on the cutest outfit, get her glam squad in to do her hair and makeup and film that short 2 hour scene or 5 hour scene, whatever it is. But then it's the rest of the time that she's probably distraught and hurting, and especially at nighttime when you're going to bed and you're laying your head on the pillow and it's dark and your mind starts racing and you go through all these things and you think about how awful that was for your husband to do that to you. Yeah, I mean, it's like everyone can think, oh, she's fine and she's moving on just fine. And then you see that scene and you're like, reality is
Mhm.
that she's not fine. And when the room gets quiet, I'm sure she's not fine. So thank
Mhm.
God she has a great therapist. I really liked her therapist. Her therapist really knew
No,
what to say.
no, she's good. She's good. She's good. So she also revealed in this scene that she did tell Denise about her domestic violence situation too. The one thing that came out of it that was new information was when she did tell her therapist about it, she made it seem like she was talking about someone else because there was so much shame around it, which again is so relatable to a lot of women who have been in that situation before. And I thought that was another layer of honesty from Erica, where I also could see her point of view. Like, you first want to talk about it as if your friend is going through it, just to get the advice without judgment, until obviously she revealed to her therapist that it was her who was going through it. But I agree with the therapist too. Like, not that you released it, it is now your time for healing. But um, Erica crying about when is all of this going to be over? Can I have a break? And then the therapist said, "Honey, I hate to break the news to you. As long as you're in this life, you're never going to have a break." And I just thought that was like the harshest truth and the reality of the situation. Like, as long as you're breathing, I can't. I'm not going to promise you a life without turmoil or pain is going to happen, but it's about how you get through it. And I thought,
Yeah. And it's probably, something Erica can't even process hearing that at this point right now, because I feel like it's kind of like if you have a sudden death, like my parents died slower, like I knew, but
mhm,
like imagine, like I picture it like this. If God forbid, I don't even want to say someone you love the most in the world gets into a car crash and
mhm,
that instant and they're gone. It's almost like you're numb at first and like you can't even like process it all. And then it's like you start, really grieving after the fact. And I feel like
mhm,
Erica didn't really like, I feel like she was numb and she was kind of like that didn't happen to me. She was like in denial almost because it was just like it hadn't registered yet. So then when you actually verbally speak it out, like the therapist said, then it's like okay, and then it's like the water gates open and she starts bawling, and then it's like okay, now it's out, and now
mhm,
is when the healing does start. And I did love when the therapist said, girlfriend, your clothes are not always going to ever always be folded and everyone's healthy and everything's fine and you're not worried about this or that. There's always something. I swear it is like every time John and I turn around right now, we're in one of those cloud moments when it's like we turn around and like his Audi starts smoking, and I have to take my Audi in to get the service on it. This is this week, okay, on Monday. So I have a Tuesday appointment. Had it booked for a week because I need a rental car for my kids are using the other ones. So then I have this appointment on Tuesday. So he calls me on his way here to my house, and he's like, "My car just started fuming. I got to go back." And I go, "Fuming? It's new. What are we doing?" So he goes back. And he goes to get the loaner on Tuesday. Okay. Takes
Uh-huh.
my spot. Okay. Because I'm like, well, you need my spot worse than I do. I'll do it, get another one for next week. So he goes and takes my spot. He's coming down to my house Tuesday night. Okay. Because I'm working down here. He's working there. Comes to my house Tuesday night. That car starts shaking like, and he's like, Lex, I'm 5 miles from my house. I have to turn around. I can't even drive the car. All the lights just came on. I've got to go back. Audi had to come tow that car and bring him another one for Wednesday. All of this happened in 24 hours. I'm like, what is going on with our cars? Like, I'm like scared to get in my car every time I get in now. But it's like
And something's gonna happen.
I know it's always something, and it's like right when you get where you feel like everything's calm, there's something new happens. And so I feel for Erica on that though. But we have to be realistic here. Her level of what's occurring is on a different scale. Okay.
It's unimaginable, and that's why I appreciate her being so vulnerable because she's not um that's not who we know her to be, right? She keeps things close to her chest. But I love the freedom of her at least trying to show us like this is what's going on with me and I'm being honest about it because that wasn't always the case. But I think she's doing an excellent job letting us in. I loved it.
It definitely helped us get to know her more, which is what the audience loves. So,
Now on to the final and third
oh,
revelation. Where am I going? Right?
we're on to Rachel Zoe.
Alexis. So, raindrops. Kyle, you will remain my favorite housewife. You will. However, Rachel Zoe, round of applause. I mean, the 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 honesty. I can list. Ugh, this is a good thing, but Kyle, I love you. Rachel Zoe is so fucking good on this show. And in her first season, not only is she talking about her divorce, my girl revealed that she cheated on Roger, her now ex-husband, but back then was her boyfriend. How she fooled around with this model. He was so hot. Pretty much she had to do it. She admitted it. And and the fact that Roger proposed to her the next day.
And I love Kyle's. This is why Kyle should always stay your favorite. Kyle gets on her confessional and goes something like, well, is that how you really want to start a marriage? Like, I'm like, Kyle will
Exactly.
go there. Kyle will go there.
She'll go there. That's why I love her. That's why I love her. She'll go there.
Unbelievable, though.
But
Rachel, oh my gosh. Not only does she admit that didn't her, okay, maybe I'm wrong about this. When they were having that dinner, didn't she kind of admit that her ex-husband or soon to be ex-husband also cheated on her? That's one of the reasons why
pretty
it came.
much
Okay. So
what
yeah,
pretty much I'm grabbing that she's dropping. I'm picking up what she's
that's
dropping.
what I was thinking also. Yeah.
Roger allegedly cheated on her. And the woman he cheated on her with, they're together, which is why she don't mind her sons not liking this
Right.
woman,
You
right?
don't have to
Because
stay there. If she's there, you don't have to stay there.
exactly. She's like, you can leave. And
But where
these
are they gonna
boys,
go? They're not old enough to be alone yet.
oh, she's like, mommy will order your Uber to come back home.
And I will hire the nanny to come back to be at your house.
Exactly. Please, like, this is what we're doing. The thing is this, she was so honest about the fact that she met this man. He was an investment banker. And she's in her 20s and she's trying out to be like this amazing stylist, working with these big time celebrities, working 20 hours a day. And he pushed her, like, do it, be great. I'm not jealous of all of this. I'm pushing you to do it. Ultimately, they're business partners. And she's thinking, like, okay, this is our life, we're best friends. And then she kept saying something happened. And Dorit's like, but what's the thing that
Yeah.
happened?
Fill us in. Like, don't leave it there. Like, give us some info here.
Yes. And she's like, well, we had an argument. And then she talked about a phone, how she never snooped ever in their tenure of being in a relationship and marriage, but she decided to do it. So what I gathered was she saw a message that he was, that pretty much revealed that he was cheating on her. They argued about it, and she broke up with, I mean, she didn't break up with him, but obviously she's upset about it. But the thing that I also got from it was, and this is why, ladies, sometimes men would try to humble you. When she said that, he pretty much said, I like this new person that I am today. And I'm glad we went through this because I would not have wanted to be in this marriage being the old Roger instead of being this new man that I am. And this is what I like, and how pretty much he wanted her to find this out. Yeah, right.
So you're,
Alexis is shaking.
oh God. I mean, it's all these people that are, dating people that are in the circle. Like, does she know the girl? Is she familiar with Roger's girl? Just like the whole,
I think Rachel would have told us that. I don't think so. I don't think so. Which is
but
why she's so angry at him.
but she did catch it in the phone,
Yes.
and the guy, the girl that Roger cheated on her with is his current girlfriend now, is what you're
That's what
saying.
I believe. Yes.
Ah,
Which is why she doesn't like her.
ah.
Yeah.
I didn't gather that when I was watching it. So yeah, wow, I missed that. But okay, well, it's just one more, another one
Yeah.
bites the dust. I mean, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it again,
I love the vulnerability though, and the honesty that's
yeah.
coming out, and that these women are showing us that yes, they have these posh, amazing lifestyles and fabulous lifestyles, and still they should all be so happy and so like, like still look at their life and say, okay, we do have a good life, but yet they're showing that even those girls are going through it right now.
hmm
The ringer.
hmm Yeah. And the fact that they were there in the Hamptons, reflecting on the fact that it was the 1 year anniversary of her and Roger's split. And look, this is what I always tell people, when you're together with somebody for that long, I want to say it was like 33 years or
More
something.
than half of her life, or half, yeah, more than half of her life.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Which is why he feels like I'm not the same person you met, which is true because you grow into something else.
Right.
But that's why I believe every 5 to 10 years you have to redate your partner. You have to like,
Yeah.
because as humans we do evolve. And before it becomes to a point where you're stepping out and all of that, really try to figure out like I'm gonna tell you a story, and I'm not gonna say names, but I have a friend who is going through something where she's with this her husband for a long time, and she's like, I want something else. He did nothing wrong, not cheating, but they were together for so long that she's like, is it bad that I just want something else?
Well, Carlos, it's Mauricio and Kyle. Neither of them did anything wrong. They were together
Mhm.
forever. They just needed to change the flavor a bit. And I can see that because you either grow together, and the key to that is you can't you if someone wants to change a little bit, like say 5 years from now, I'm not going to be the same Alexis. If John tries to hold me back from where I'm changing and growing into, it's not
Mhm.
going to work. He's got to let me do it and grow with me, but
Mhm.
vice versa for me with him. But he's not going to be the same in 5 years, and who knows what endeavors we're going to want or what new hobby we're going to want to start, and you can't hold the person back. So I just wonder if it's that, or if it's, I mean, do they just get bored of their partner? Like that's
I
why
think it's all of it.
I think the redating is very fabulously said. Like you got to redate start it over, like act like you just met again.
Totally. Totally. And again, it's just a thing that is super honest when it comes to how
Right.
things are in this life. And that's why for me, I encourage married couples, or even if you're not married in a relationship, really reassess your relationship every couple of years just to make sure you guys are on the same page, and really have like these deep, honest conversations, because it's not always to the point where it's like, well, I'm stepping out. And I think with Roger, I think Roger just wanted something different, and he didn't let Rachel in on that.
you look at Rachel and you're like, how could you want anything different than the most fabulous person that ever existed? It's like, I don't get it. It's like, okay, what did he possibly need except a younger girl? Is the girl younger that he's dating? I don't know, but I
I don't
assume.
know. He has exiled himself out of the limelight.
What do you mean?
Like he's not out there publicly. Like, listen, you do be in situations sometimes when, the guy is doing interviews on blogs and podcasts, like,
Oh,
and
he's
he's
just,
just,
you're saying he went dark. He's gone.
yeah, he's just like,
He's going to live a normal life, not the Hollywood life, which is
yeah,
really hard to do. It's really hard to get out of the limelight, even if you want to. I mean, you have to kind of really like, did he move out of LA? Because if he's still in LA, it's really hard to get out of that whole like scene and have paparazzi and people around your business all the time.
you want to gag one more time before I let you go?
My God, yes. I love gagging. I mean, I don't really, only with you.
Well, that could have.
Only this kind of gagging.
I know. You racy girl, I love you. You're my type
I'm
of
talking about
girl.
vomiting. What are you talking about? Oh, you, okay, mister. Get your head
I'm
out of
just
the gutter.
saying,
Get your head
I
out.
I love it too for
Okay,
other
give me
reasons. Okay,
some more tea before I go get my coffee.
okay. You want to know about his last Instagram post?
Is he still public?
Uh-huh.
Well, then he hasn't gotten out of the limelight that much if he's still public. Okay, yes,
But guess
bring
his
it.
okay, for context, his second to last Instagram post was June 11th, 2025. Okay?
Oh my gosh, let's do the math on that. That's a year. That's almost a year ago. No, it's 6 months ago.
No, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. It's 8 months ago, right?
Okay.
So 8 months ago. That was his
6 months
second
and
to
hasn't
last.
posted.
Second to last. Now, his last Instagram post
What was
was
that one? Hold on. What was that post?
okay. So the second to last post was reflecting on my trip to Israel last month with my family and friends in the most special place on earth. It was very emotional to bear witness to the aftermath of October 7th and spending time hearing from former hostages and their families. I am moved by the entire nation of Israel. Okay,
Wow.
that's June 11th.
Okay.
Now, this is December, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months after that,
Okay.
Rachel is on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay. This is December. Was it
He
airing in
posted,
December? Wait,
yeah, so this is 2 months ago.
okay. So we were already recapping 2 months ago, or had it not?
Yes,
We were. Okay. Okay. Go.
that's what he says. It's a picture of Rachel Zoe with the title of a magazine saying Rachel Zoe brand gets snapped up by Gordon Brothers. He captioned, congratulations to Rachel, our entire team, and anyone else who has supported us on this journey.
Oh. Okay. Hold on. I gotta take that in for a second. So is he?
You want to see it?
You sure? Yeah. I love a screen share. So he's basically taking credit for her for everything too. Okay. Okay. How do I see? Okay. Okay. It's a picture of Rachel. I don't see. Oh, it's not coming up. Hold on. Well, it's not coming up, but I'm gonna have to go to it now. Anyway, it's a picture. You're saying it's a picture of Rachel, and it says, "We are proud of you." And
Yeah.
okay, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh boy, Rachel Brando gets snapped up by Gordon Brothers. So is he part of that brand? I'm sure he was.
Yes. Yes. So she
Okay.
sold it, and that means that he gets a piece of it.
Well, I mean, they have so much money. I don't think it really matters.
Well,
But
no,
they found
but
Rachel.
again, he's a man. That was a message to the audience. As much shit as she's talking about me, I want to remind you guys,
I'm
I'm
part
still
of her company. He's like, I'm not such a bad guy because I helped build that business and I got 50% of that, $8 million. Thank you very much. I know, I see where you're saying. What
okay.
you're going.
Okay. Okay. So there you have it. There you have it. But listen, this
Oh,
episode, I will say this once again. I enjoy the revelations. I enjoy the moments. Um, I still want to see more, but I enjoy the revelations and the vulnerability. So congratulations to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for this episode.
I agree. Thought it was
All
great.
right. All right. So raindrops, Alexis Jansen, I will be tongue
No,
twister. Alexis Jansen and I will be back next week for another recap of Beverly Hills. Alexis, I love you, sister, and I'll see you soon.
bye.
Bye, boo thang.
Bye, guys.